Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Dauntless Outdoors. Today we're doing a little after work session. We finished up work early and we decided to head out and go do some diving. We're diving out of Sarasota. This is the first successful number of the day, and this was out in about mid 70 feet. We were like 73, 74, 75. So we idled over it. We saw a big show of snapper up in the water column. What we assumed was snapper. We hopped in and sure enough it was snapper. So what you're seeing here is I'm dropping down to the bottom. I'm trying to be slow, calm, just kind of let my body weight just sink down towards the bottom nice and slow so I don't spook anything. And as you'll see, these snapper kind of roll in out of the murk off my left side. I decided that the biggest one was the one out in the open, so when he lines up good and came kind of the apex of his curve, took a shot. Pretty good holding shot. Hit him a little bit high on the back, but plenty of meat for him to hold. Pulled the fish right on up to me, and then I made my way to the surface. This is my first fish of the day, and he was, I think, around that 18-inch mark. So after that, did another dive. As you can see, it kind of almost startled me how quick those fish were kind of right in front of me. And that's because those fish are way up in the water column. That school snapper had risen way off the bottom. I think the commotion got them excited. And they were literally only like 30 feet down. I wasn't expecting to see them. It was a little too murky to see them from the surface. So I dove and had my chin tucked. And then something caught my eye. And I was like, wow, they're all there. And there was actually a bunch of really nice snapper in that school. So I tried to follow where they went. So I started swimming in that direction, and then out of the murk, snapper started poking back out. So this guy was the first one I saw. He was a nice fat one. Took a shot on him, really good holding shot. Kept the heat on him for a little bit, and then he broke away and did some running. I just wanted to let him run so he didn't rip off. But really, really nice snapper there. And then I started pulling on him again and pulled him back up to me, and then made my way to the surface. But this was my second snapper of the day, and this guy was really nice size. We were very happy to bump into these fish out here. I believe this one was over that 20-inch mark. So, heck yeah, great snapper. What's going on, y'all? Josh here. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I'm headed down to the bottom here. Unfortunately, my GoPro wasn't recording about 2 or 3 dives before this. I shot a mangrove that was about 25 inches. He was pretty big, but as you see, headed down to the bottom. Pretty nice gag right there. I lined up on him, but I wasn't sure I wanted to take the shot. I was going to wait towards the end of my dive. I knew he wasn't going anywhere. I could tell from how he was just slowly swimming away, he wasn't going to just fully go away. So I head down to the bottom, doing some grunting, throwing some sand, and hoping for another pretty nice mangrove snapper. Because when mangrove snappers are that big, they're pretty smart. So once you take a bunch of shots on the spot, you don't really get another good opportunity. But I wasn't seeing any more, and it's about 75 feet, and it's getting pretty dark. So decided I was going to take a shot on this gag. Completely stoned him. He gave me a nice broadside shot. And head over here, secure this fish, and awesome second fish of the day for me. Alright, so after Josh got his nice gag in the boat and I put those snapper in the boat, I did a drop, and on the way to the bottom, I'm kind of scoping the scene, and I realize this nice gag grouper's just hovered up above the structure. He's maybe 7 to 10 feet off the bottom. As you can see, I'm kind of waiting for him to turn. He turns a little too erratic for me, so I didn't want to take the shot. And whenever fish spook like that, you don't want to try and track them and freak them out. So I kind of let him go. I repositioned on him, waited for him to kind of turn a little bit. I took a great shot, stoned the fish, which is kind of textbook how you want to do it. You don't want to freak the fish out, and you don't want to be sinking down too quick on him and really swimming to him. I was just letting my body weight do the work, sink me down to the fish, took a great holding shot, and that was at, I believe, at like 75 feet where I shot the fish. So made my way back up to the surface and took this juicy gag of the boat. I believe he came out to be about 26, 27 inches, somewhere in there, and a great stone shot on a great fish. What's going on, y'all? Josh again. So we just moved spots. Ben got a pretty nice gag there, and we weren't really seeing anything else too crazy. This is a new barge. We've only dove it about twice, so we aren't really familiar with how it's laid out, but we do know kind of the general shape and area of it. So I'm going down to the bottom. We've dove this in one of our videos before. We shot some nice snapper. It was out with Jesse, and he got his new wood gun probably 2 or 3 episodes ago. But just settling in on the bottom here, hoping to find a 22 or plus mangrove. And as you see here, grunting along, just looking around on the bottom, and a beautiful Cubera right there just rolls in from the sand. Hardly ever see any of these. I've only shot about 4 or 5 of them in total. and anytime I get a shot, I'm gonna take it. That fish freaks out, but I landed a really nice holding shot, so he knew he wasn't going anywhere. And I kind of put the burners on him. Didn't want him to get stuck or have a Goliath grouper come and eat him. But thank you guys so much for watching. If you haven't already, hit that like button, and we'll catch you in the next one. So after Josh brought that Cubera up to the surface, I was freaking out. I couldn't believe it. We normally shoot mangroves and whatnot off this spot, but a Cubera is way out of the ordinary, so I was freaking out. I decided I was going to do a dive, and I'm like, you know what, I'm going to go look for a good snapper. So as you'll see, I'm getting close to the bottom, starting to see the smaller snapper, and then you'll see this hogfish catches my eye, and I'm just checking him out. I'm just, maybe he's legal, maybe he's not, so I'm just looking at him. And then out of the corner of my eye, another Cubera rolls in. I couldn't believe it. Took the shot. Hit the fish really, really well. Just a quick extension shot. Popped him. Kept pressure on him as much as I could, and was able to keep that fish out of that structure. He went up under there, but I didn't give him enough line to wrap up. And if you ever shoot a fish like this at depth, especially around wrecks where there's predatory fish, you never want to let them get wrapped up, and you want to bring them up to you close so you keep them away from predators. So got that fish to my body, brought him up the surface, and I was freaking out. I couldn't believe it. This was one of my biggest Cuberas to date. So heck yeah, great day, and great double header to finish out on 2 Cuberas. Just got back to the house, got 2 nice gags, a bunch of nice mangroves, and 2 really good Cubera right there. Bends ended up being about 11.5 pounds. Really solid fish right there. Great way to end the day.